What is going on, ladies, and more importantly, gentlemen? It is time to break down this weekend's fights, headlined by Marvin Vettori versus the Trailblazer Kevin Holland. And before we do that, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Don't be a baby back bagel biting beta male, because you know what time it is. It's full-time MMA, and it is time to break down UFC on ABC2, going down this Saturday. It's going to be a daytime event, so make sure you wake up early, set your alarm, whatever you got to do, wherever you're at, adjust accordingly. With that being said, the first fight, the main event, the main attraction is going to be Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland. This is a middleweight matchup. Marvin Vettori has been on a tear since losing a split decision to Israel Adesanya, the UFC's current middleweight champion. Marvin Vettori is a very well-rounded fighter. He's got great wrestling. We've seen him beat other solid wrestling contenders in the division, guys like Andrew Sanchez, and most recently he's coming off a very impressive win over Jack the Joker Hermanson, which earned him this fight with Darren Till. Darren Till was unable to fight, so he had to be pulled, and in steps the Black Cowboy, the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. I said this in a live stream in the past. They need to get this dude a cowboy hat and a straw to hang out of his teeth, because he is taking many pages out of Cowboy's book, and Kevin Holland is becoming the new definition of any time, any place, anywhere, because Kevin Holland just got out of a fight literally like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and he's going to be stepping into the cage again. He just lost to Derek Brunson, I believe it. March 20th, it's April 5th now. It's been like 15 days and he's fighting next weekend. So he's not even going to have a full month off before he fights again. And he's coming off of a 5-round loss. I mean, he wasn't in training camp, but this is going to be, I think, more of the same. I think we're going to see Marvin Vettori using his wrestling to really kind of beat Kevin Holland here. He might even get a ground and pound finish. Maybe Kevin Holland is so hard to finish. It's going to be really hard to make that happen. So I predict Marvin Vettori probably wins this fight via unanimous decision. That's how I think it's going to play out, because Kevin Holland, he's very difficult to finish, as we've seen like on his UFC debut when he took on like Thiago Santos on short notice, his very first UFC fight, and he couldn't get him out of there because this kid is just so slippery, and he just came in and fought. I mean, he's probably fights 4 times a year on average, and this is no different. So, I mean, salute to Kevin Holland for stepping up on short notice. He's got that nasty win over Jacare. We know anything's possible. He's got power, and he's capable of pulling off some surprising feats in that octagon. And he's a guy that I like to root for. But for this fight, I got to take Marvin Vettori to win. That's what I think is going to happen. Moving on to the co-main event, we've got Arnold Allen versus Sadiq Youssef. This is almost a toss-up for me, but I do think Arnold Allen is just going to be a little bit more of the superior technician. He's a little more experienced. He trains with a little bit higher level team. He trains out in TriStar. He's fought against some veterans that may be a little bit over the hill, but they're very technically savvy. So Arnold Allen is going to be really good when it comes to the technicality, and I think he'll have a little bit better wrestling for sure in this fight. And even just crisper, cleaner boxing. I mean, Arnold Allen's got some really clean boxing. He was green in his last fight, but you definitely seen the room for potential and the room for growth. And training with someone like TriStar, they're going to be able to really take you to that next level. So he's had about a year off to clean up some things, and I think we're going to see it in this fight with Arnold Allen. He's got more UFC experience, and he's fought against higher level competition. I do like Sadiq Youssef, and I was almost this close to picking him to win this fight, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Arnold Allen. That's what I'm going to have to go with, just off of, I think he's got not even more paths to victory per se, but I think he's got the more likely chance to win this fight via decision. I actually think Arnold Allen's probably going to win this fight via decision. I could just see him outpointing Sadiq Youssef. I know I'm predicting 2 decisions in the first main and co-main, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's just how I can see these guys getting these wins if they came out and fought their best fight. Moving on, now this I don't see being a decision. This is going to be a finish, I believe, and it's going to likely be ground and pound, but it could definitely be a submission. But Kyle Daukaus definitely has good jiu-jitsu of his own, so he's not going to be easy to submit. But this Russian 13-0 prospect, he's dangerous. He finished Husam Harris before coming to Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, where he earned actually a first round submission there. And the only thing Dana White could say about him after the fight was this guy needs to be in the UFC. I mean, he's already undefeated. He's got a couple of those marquee wins that really put him on the map. And he's going to be going against Kyle Daukaus, who is 1-1 in the UFC. And his one win was against a jobber who really had not proven himself to be UFC caliber. So it's not like Kizriev is going to be coming in here and fighting some UFC caliber competition. He's going to be fighting another guy that still has a lot to prove. And I think the undefeated Russian Kizriev is going to come and pass this test with flying colors. I'm picking him to win this via first round, ground and pound. Kizriev. Next, we have Julian Marquez versus Smiling Sam Alvey. This one, I really wanted to give the edge to Sam Alvey just based off the experience. This guy is racking up the fights. Sam Alvey he's got about 50 fights. He's 33, 14-1. He's got almost 50 pro fights at 34 years old, and he's still Smiling Sam. Unfortunately, Smiling Sam was riding a 4-fight losing streak before his most recent fight, which ended up in a split decision, loss to Dejun Ung. He'll now be fighting Miley Cyrus's Valentine, Julian Marquez, who's only got a quarter of the experience as Sam Alvey at 8-2, but he has shown to be very well-rounded, dangerous, and durable in his short time with the UFC. Also being from Kansas City, I always have had a affinity toward Julian Marquez, and he's just a cool dude. He's got a hell of a look and a personality to kind of, make you pay attention as well, but also the, very close proximity to Kansas City. It's like a hometown guy for me as well, so I like to root for Julian Marquez. I got to give the edge to Julian Marquez with that aside, though. Even though I want to root for Sam Alvey, experience is definitely on Sam Alvey's side as usual, but the youth, power, and momentum are all on the side of Julian Marquez. He's riding a lot more momentum, and on the other side, Smiling Sam Alvey is skidding. I mean, he's gonna have to be able to dig deep and really not clear out the cobwebs, but he's got to turn this ship around. And Julian Marquez isn't the easiest matchup to get it done. I mean, Julian Marquez, as far as the experience, man, Sam Alvey should have this. It's not like he's some 38-year-old dude that's taking a lot of damage. But Sam Alvey, even though he's got all this experience, I do think there is a little bit lacking in Sam Alvey's game for all of that experience. As far as that's why he's currently riding the 4-fight losing streak, and even before that, he was fighting guys like John Vellante in close fights, and so Sam Alvey, I love the dude. He's a cool guy, but I'm picking him to lose this fight. I got Julian Marquez. Let's go. Next, we're moving on to Nina Ansaroff versus Mackenzie Dern. Oh, the mom fight. I think Nina Ansaroff's going to win this fight. Mackenzie Dern could win. She's got a submitter's chance, but I mean, other than that, I'm Nina Ansaroff all day in this fight. Mackenzie Dern is 5-1 in the UFC. She's most recently coming off a unanimous decision win over Verna Jandiroba, who was 16-1, but not UFC championship or even contender. I don't even think she'd ever been ranked in the UFC. She might be in the top 15, but just not the same level of competition as Nina Ansaroff at all. Even though Nina Ansaroff is only 4-3 in the UFC, she's fighting against the toughest competition in the world. She trains with the best women in the world. Nina Ansaroff's coming off a unanimous decision loss to Tatiana Suarez. Before that, she was riding a 4-fight win streak over girls like Claudia Gadelha. So those are girls at the top of the heat at 115, the top of the division. So I got to take Nina to win this fight. She's been fighting the best competition in the UFC, and she trains with the best women in the world. To me, this one's almost a no-brainer, but Mackenzie Dern's definitely got some jiu-jitsu that Nina Ansaroff's going to have to be prepared for. But she's got the right camp, right team, and the right wife, Amanda Nunes, to prepare her for anything. So I'm taking Nina Ansaroff. Both of these women have entered motherhood recently. They're both, Nina Ansaroff's got Amanda Nunes' baby, and then Mackenzie Dern has had a baby of her own recently, and she's back to fighting. So, mom fight! Can't wait. It's gonna be like the two soccer moms getting down. Fucking, oh shit. Oh, I'm definitely gonna be watching that one. Last but definitely not least, we got the prison yard brawl between Mike Perry and Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez is 13-2. He's 3-1 in the UFC, coming off unanimous decision loss to Nicholas Dalby. He has a win over mutual opponent Tim Means, who Mike Perry has lost to in the past. Mike Perry has 14 fights in the UFC and has fought against a higher level competition throughout his career. He's also been working on improving his overall game, his ground game in particular. We have been seeing take steps up. He's been fighting submission matches, and also we've just been seeing it in his MMA game. So I'm gonna be taking Mike Perry to win this fight, man. Even though he's an underdog and he is the younger, more experienced fighter who's fought against a lot higher level competition, and that generally tends to lead to who's going to win the fight. Now, Daniel Rodriguez can come out here. We know Mike Perry likes to brawl, and Mike Perry, he can make this a dog fight. Anything can happen. Mike Perry's not a guy that you put your money on, but Mike Perry is a guy that I think has more than enough skills and experience to win this fight against Daniel Rodriguez. Like I said, he's younger, more experienced, higher level competition. What more do you want? One more, and he's been working on his ground game. What more do you want from Mike Perry? I'm rolling with Mike this fight. And with that being said, those are my predictions. I got Vettori, Allen, Kizriev, Marquez, Ansarov, and Perry. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.